Hey folks, Andy here from Aussie Homestead. So I thought I'd do a video today on the different types of things that we use around the farm for cutting wood. And I'll start with the smallest of the ones. These things are just like a little handheld chainsaw, and I do believe they're called katanas. They're only about 48 bucks on the internet. The thing you've got to watch with these things is the only safety feature you've got is that little switch right there. So if you accidentally push that switch and the battery's in there, they're pretty bloody dangerous because they don't have a secondary switch. And what I mean by a secondary switch is the Ryobi has this button that you have to pull back before you can activate the trigger. So it's a double-step process. This one lacks that, so I would recommend highly take that damn battery out as soon as you finish with it and don't put it into a toolbox with just the battery in it. All it takes is to bump that button there, and she goes. So be careful with those. These things are absolutely marvellous for cutting small firewood, like your kindling, you know, your smaller size ones, up to about 2 inches, around about 50 millimetres. This one is a 12-inch Ryobi brushless. It's out of just the standard Ryobi range. We run it with a 4 amp hour battery. And the difference between these ones is they deliver oil to the chain, right? This one is an oilless. So you will need to put some WD-40 on it every time you use it just to keep that bar lubricated. These ones all self-lubricate. So we run this with a minimum of 5 amp hour battery. They don't like running on the small ones. You can get about 100 cuts, about 4 inches round, and they last really well. This is actually a 6 amp hour battery. It does really, really well, and we keep 2 of those in the box when we take it out. When we want to change to petrol, we have 2. We have a McCulloch M3616. These things are an absolute beast. These are both, I think, 18-inch bars, but by far the best out of the range is the Stihl MS170 Farm Boss. These things are basically indestructible. Those 2 run on 50-1, and I keep fuel and chain and bar oil in little containers, and I take it out with me when I go. I always try and buy the highest octane fuel you can, up to about 96 octane, because if you use E10 in these things, you'll just destroy the petrol tanks in them, because they have plastic tanks in them, and E10 will destroy plastic tanks. So I like 94, 96 RON, anything like that. It stops knocking in the engine, and that's caused by them firing before they're supposed to fire, and it makes a knocking sound in the motor. And anybody that's familiar with motors will know that if you get the wrong RON, it's called RON, they're 96 RON. If you get the wrong one, you'll get knocking. These things, when they run on 96 at 50-1, those things absolutely scream. They are absolutely wonderful machines. If you're going to get anyone, pick the Stihl. Even the new ones, I think they're electronic fuel injection now. These are all electronic. They don't have points in them, so they're really, really reliable. Again, they've got that double safety feature, so you've got to hit 2 triggers before that will activate. The next video I'm going to show you how to sharpen the chains. And there's many, many ways of sharpening chains. I personally use this little Ozito unit. I think it's about 70 bucks at Bunnings and runs off the standard 4 amp hour battery. But this thing here, you can control the amount of degrees that your chain is. These are all 30-degree chains. There's no exception in any of those teeth. And most standard chainsaws are 30 degrees when you sharpen them. Now you can use these hand sharpeners. These things are hard work. They do have the degrees written on them, so it gives you the guide. But I always find when people that hand do them, if you're right-handed, you'll do this way really, really well, but you'll do this way really, really badly, and you'll get an uneven cut. You tend to get a scoop cut because the blade's not running exactly equal. This thing eliminates it because it does it on them exactly at 30 or 32 degrees, depending upon the chain. These are all Oregon chains. This is 30 degrees. You can buy little hand ones that actually go on the bar, and then you get these things that go into the drill, and these are like little diamond burrs, and they sharpen them up. I haven't found anything successful other than this thing, and I'm going to do a whole video. I'm going to take the chain off of this one. This one's the bluntest out of the 3 because it's been used the most at the farm. We've only just acquired this one. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you how, step by step, to aggressively sharpen a chainsaw so that it will just slice through the timber. When you've actually sharpened your chainsaw, you're going to be amazed at how sharp you can actually get it. And I'll show you how also too, is when you measure down between your 2 teeth, you have a guide. And that thing there is responsible for keeping it in a straight row. But if that guide, or raker as it's known, is higher than your teeth, it's not going to cut. So I'm going to show you how to set the rakers and sharpen the teeth. But that'll be in a separate video. All I wanted to do to cover this video was what we use on the farm and how we use them. So there you go, guys. That's what we use. You guys can choose anything you want, but just from experience, I found that these ones are really, really good, particularly this one. We take that out in the crossfire all the time because there's always a down tree in the track, and we just chop it up and throw it in the back of the crossfire and bring it back again. It's a brushless one. Amazing piece of machinery. They're quite expensive. And, of course, the longer you bar, the dearer they are. But anyway, it's Andy here from Aussie Homesteads. I'll just sign out now for now, and the next one will be on that sharpening, and I'll talk to you then. Bye for now.